Hey guys, this is Callum from EnglishShooting and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about flashlights today, specifically the Olight Warrior X Pro. To be completely honest, I don't know my arse from my elbow when it comes to flashlights. If they go on and they shine, great success. I don't know how really to do the review, so I thought I would just bring it right back to basics and just give an unboxing and my first impression. This is basically going to be an idiot's guide to opening up and having a look at a flashlight. Now, whilst I'm no expert on flashlights, I do use them where we're here at night going between different locations on site. We have various flashlights hung up ready to go. I've got the 511 XBT-A2. This thing's been long lasting, dropped a few times, battered. I think it's still on the original batteries. This was actually a sort of cheap Chinese flashlight that was sent to me years ago to do a review of, and unfortunately this is now dead because the batteries that were supplied with it leaked and killed all the circuitry. And I do have a flashlight that I've been meaning to review for a very long time, lent by a very good friend. It's the Cloud Defense Owl, the optimized weapon light. So it comes with an integrated Picatinny rail, and it's meant to go on an AR-15 or any sort of rifle. You've got the touchpad there, so you can do momentary with a sort of just a touch and release, or you can click it and put it on. Again, I don't really know how to review it, so I haven't got round to doing it yet, but Olight very kindly sent me this, and they have said that this currently isn't released, despite it sort of saying on the website that it is released. I'm very confused. So Olight is a brand that I've seen about loads. There's been loads of other YouTubers doing reviews of them, and I've seen fairly good reviews overall in the groups on Facebook, on forums, in comment section, and personally I have been tempted to pick one up. So let's open it up and see what it's all about. So this is brand new, sealed, never been opened, and we're going to see what's inside. My handy everyday carry knife is coming in handy once again. So yeah, premium feel to the packaging. And how does this thing open up? It looks like it should fold. There we go. Magnets in there. Again, that's a nice touch. So thank you for being part of our Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Enjoy, Olight team. That's quite nice. Congrats on your new Olight Warrior X Pro. So you've got a few instructions there, how to charge it, how to maintain it, open it up. Let's get in there. Oh, so it comes in a very nice pouch straight off the bat. So I guess this would be good for putting it on, yeah, a belt loop, something like that, so you've got it on you. Again, that's got a magnet in it. I have to say straight away, this is impressing me. It's made a good first mark on me. And here we have the Warrior X Pro in red. Now, one of the features that I was very excited to have a look at was it's got a magnetic charger, which I think for maybe a little bit over the top for a flashlight, but pretty swanky nonetheless. Now, can I get the magnetic charger out? I think this is a magnetic charger. There we go. So you get given this. I mean, it would have been nice if they had matched it, have this red as well, but I'm sure this is a pretty standard part that all comes in blue. But there we go. That's pretty cool. It's probably got a battery in it. There we go. I might actually have, so you get your own rechargeable lithium battery. Just be very careful with these guys. Being a qualified electronic engineer, I can tell you how volatile these are. When you're charging them, don't leave them charging unattended. This isn't just an Olight thing, this is just a general lithium battery advice. Make sure that they're not in direct sunlight. Always make sure that you're there while they're charging. Lithiums are a lot more volatile than people think, and lots of bad things can happen with them. So, well, that's really the unboxing. I've got a little bit more here. What's in here? This looks like some sort of stand. And it's like little accessory bits. It's got a lanyard in there, and is that meant to be a stand? I don't know. Probably goes on somehow. Maybe I should read the instructions. That would be a change. So you get a little instruction leaflet as well. Another little thank you. They're very appreciative of you buying their stuff, that's for sure. So it's a tactical grip ring. Okay. So, tactical grip ring. Is that the right way? No, it's the other way. Would be, wouldn't it? Then how do you...
I'm not a smart man.
Oh, you've got to take... So you have two tactical grip rings on it. I think this one's meant to come off. Oh, there we go. Just slides off.
A great success!
So you've got a choice of rings. Whatever tickles your fancy in terms of your ring choice. I think you've got to take that off as well. So they're very modular actually and sort of configurable. I don't know necessarily the benefits of any of this really. So you get a little lip there, ribbed, for your pleasure. First impressions, you get a lot of kit with it. I love the magnetic charger. Again, it's probably a bit over the top, but there's nothing worse than going for a flashlight and it being dead. So it's having something just plugged in and it's just standard USB. Probably would be nice to see it as USB-C. So many things are going that way, and also the power levels a lot more significant with the USB-C. I think they can do something up to 5 amps, whereas the USB is something like 1 or 2 amps, so it's a significant step up. So you'd get faster charging time. So you can see there seems to be different levels of brightness on there. Do you have a momentary? And it's vibrating. So wait, you have different sized rings and it vibrates. Are you sure this is a flashlight? People want to send me flashlights to review. I've never done a flashlight review. I think I might have done one actually. It was a Fab Defense mount, and I'd bought like a cheap 20 quid thing to go into it, and I had it on my Smith & Wesson because I went full tactical Timmy when I first got it. Comparing it to the 511, the 511's a sort of a whiter light. This has a little bit of a sort of a yellow tinge to it. It's got very sort of harsh sort of focal point. So you can see that the 511 is a little bit more dispersed, where this is sort of, you've got that peaking in the middle of it, but it's still, you can see the outer ring on it there. So it's got a good spread, but it's probably not as dispersed as well as the 511. Let's have a look at the owl. It is vibrating at me, and I know that it does have a vibration sort of battery warning on it, so it might not be fully charged, so maybe not a full comparison, but I will be heading out to when it gets darker later, just so you can see a side-by-side comparison, and I'll put that over me jabbering on. So it's not too dissimilar to the owl actually. So the owl again has a very sort of harsh peak in the middle and quite a wide coverage, whereas the Olight, it's probably a smaller peak and slightly smaller sort of outer coverage. Well, no, outer coverage is probably around the same as that. And the owl is probably a bit red actually. Looking at it, it actually makes the Olight now look a bit whiter rather than yellow compared to the 511. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, this is not a cheap light, expensive bits of kit really for a flashlight, and that's again why I don't really get that turned on by flashlights, because they make light, like, I just don't get the obsession about buying really, really expensive flashlights. If something does the job, it does the job. So I'm going to have to get out and have a proper look at it, so I'm going to stop the video here. I'll wait for it to get dark, and then we can have a bit of a side-by-side comparison.
Many hours later.
So day 2 of this review, probably the longest start to finish review that I've ever done. But before I went out last night to test the Olight, I needed to make sure that it was charged, as well as the battery in the Owl. This did take quite a long time to charge, but I did notice that we do have a charge indicator on the little magnetic connector there. So you've got red for it's charging and needs to charge, or green if it's fully charged. So it was a number of hours that I had to wait to get it to get fully charged, but once I did and I got down the path by the side of the office here, nothing compared to it. It was absolutely incredible, like a small sun. There was actually a point where I thought this was in its full setting, so it has, you know, 2 different settings that you can go from. So you have the light, so the lower setting or the high setting, and I was actually comparing the Owl with the lowest setting of the Olight. It was comparable. The Owl is brighter than the lowest setting of the Olight, but once I'd realised it and I put it into its full brightness, no comparison whatsoever. The Olight had the same spread, it had the sort of same peak in the middle of it, the sort of peak of focal point, but this just went so much further. The line of sight that I had was about 200 meters. This reached the end of it, no problem whatsoever. The Owl did struggle, but also just everything, all the trees along the side of the path just lit up like a Christmas tree with the Olight. The Owl, it was sufficient enough. I could still see everything, but just not in the detail I could see with the Olight. One thing that I did notice is that it heats up very, very quickly. Even just shining it on my hand at that distance, I can feel the heat coming off of the light. So a great hand warmer if you're out there in the cold, but even during this short time of it being on, I can already start to feel the heat coming through. And they do have hot surface on there to warn you, and also that's why the flashlight is this design. That's acting as a big heat sink with all of those fins on there, so it is going to be something to be aware of. If you're having it on for a prolonged period of time, then you are going to want to watch it when you put it back in the pocket. Probably that's why they've given you this quite swanky slip for it. So in terms of the specifications, it's 2,100 lumens, whereas I think the Owl is just over 1,000 stated. It's saying a throw of 500 meters. So whilst I only had 200 meters to play with, this thing is going to get across a field no problem whatsoever. It does also have different sort of settings within its high setting. So what it says is that the maximum it can do is 2,100 lumens. It then drops down to 1,000 lumens, and then even in the high mode it will drop down to 300 lumens depending on how long you have it on for. So you get 2 minutes at the 2,100 lumens, you get 100 minutes at the 1,000 lumens, and you get sort of a reserve 23 minutes at the 300 lumens if you go through that full cycle. So whilst this is significantly brighter than the Owl, you do only have 2 minutes at its full runtime, and if you go down to its low setting at 300 lumens straight from the off, you will get 8 hours of runtime, but it will only go to 180 meters within that setting. Other things like impact, they state that you can drop these things from 3 meters and it will survive. I might do a separate video on that depending on how much I want to break this or not want to break it. It's also rating this as an IPX8. Now the IP rating is for dust and waterproof, 6 being the highest on the dust and 8 being for standard tests the highest on the waterproof. So this should be able to be submerged indefinitely. I think it's a meter of water, no problem whatsoever. The X though is a bit worrying because that says it actually hasn't been tested for dust. So I don't know. I would expect it to be a 6, probably worst case at a at a 5. So those are really all the specs of it. I'm highly impressed. Again, I'm not an expert on flashlights. There might be many things that make this completely unusable, but for a noob like me, I'm not going to see it. Connor's has had a look around it. He's a little bit more up to speed with flashlight technology. And he gave it his thumbs up and seal of approval. So yeah, we're both very happy with it. It's a great addition to the office. This is the one that I'm going to go for every time I go outside, or although Alex is probably going to get a bit annoyed of a little light show going on outside. Now, one thing as well, comparing it to the Owl, obviously it's not completely fair because this is a complete system. You are getting the button integrated in there, so while it's on a rail mount, and you do have the rail mount itself integrated into the torch, so it is a little bit more compact. You can get the Picatinny mount and clamp for this torch and or another momentary switch for it. It is going to be a bit more bulky, it is going to take a little bit more real estate because you've got all those separate parts, but when it comes down to cost, I think the additional momentary switch for the Olight is around £20–30, the mount is around £10, so you're looking an extra, say, 40 quid to be able to get it to the same functionality. Whatever my approval means, being a complete noob and flashlight idiot, I don't know, but I can recommend it. If you did want to pick one up, Olight have given me an affiliate link, so if you do want to go and buy one, please buy it through the link below, and then you can help support the channel. Big thanks to Olight for sending it down. If they do want to send down anything else, or maybe the mount for it and the touchpad for me to review, I'd absolutely love that. That would be another good video to actually get it mounted on a gun. But there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope you found it useful. All of the links will be in the description below if you want to learn anything more. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please make sure you're subscribed for any future videos and content on the channel. And as always, guys, I hope to see you soon.